Welcome to the Immerse podcast. We are your hosts, Dan Ramsden and Alex O'Keefe.
Join us and our guests as we dive into real stories of entrepreneurship, health, fitness and self-mastery. No fluff, no filters, just honest conversations that inspire, educate and challenge the norm. Let's get into it.
Let's do this. Welcome to another episode of the Immerse podcast, guys. Today it is me riding solo. We've no Alex today, family emergency, one of those things. I'm joined by a special guest. We always like to get quirky individuals that have got a story to tell, and I think we're ticking some boxes today, mate. We've got Liam Browne on the show. Welcome.
Nice one. Thanks for having us, bro. Cheers, Dan.
So this is quite a transformational journey, story, path that you've been on. Let's go back for the listeners that don't know.
Yep.
Where did things start for you, sort of growing up? Things like that.
Just like fucking, well, you think it's normal until you go somewhere else, but it's just turmoil and madness, you know what I mean? Like domestic violence, living in a battered wives institute, having a really violent dad, being around a lot of violence.
Manchester, born and bred.
South Manchester.
Yeah.
Growing up in, first school I went to, super multicultural. I was like minority. It was predominantly Asian, black. It was in Longsight, so it was a proper mixture. Do you know what I mean? It was but obviously a lot of poverty as well. But we weren't. I guess when I was first with my dad, there wasn't a shitload of poverty because my dad was a tinker. Do you know what I mean? He was a grafter, so he always had a lot of money, but he was tight as anything as well. But he always earned a lot of dough because he was a painter and decorator. But it was just like, because you're in it, you don't realise that it's that unstable and unsettling. And then when my mum and dad split up when I was about 4, it was like we then ended up going and living in a council estate in Wythenshawe, which was predominantly a white area.
Right.
And then that was, again, just craziness of what had happened, what would be going on your avenue, police, gangs, like girls gang, boy gangs, just seeing all this. And I was, I was probably a little bit young to be kind of getting involved in that because I think I lived there till I was 11 or something.
Right.
But obviously
but
just
seeing it,
but
witnessing
just being
it.
around it, just being around like violence, drugs, alcohol. My mum didn't drink though, so I was like looked after in that way because all the other parents and stuff would congregate every night on the avenue and be getting levered and there'd be fights. It's kind of like a bit like Shameless, you know what I mean?
Wow.
But even some places around my way, like you'd go there and you'd be like, Shameless has got nothing on what goes on in here. Do you know what I mean? A lot of my mates' pubs and stuff like that and things that I then grew up into. And it's basically my life revolved around football when I was a kid. So from probably 11 till going to uni when I was like 20, 21, something like that. It was just football. It was like football and then obviously going out boozing when you get to that age, like 14, 15, 16. From 13, really, you're trying to get drunk all the time, aren't you? All you want to do is someone get you some booze and get levered with your mates.
Back then, that's all we wanted to do.
I mean? That's all you wanted to do. Drugs.
How old are you now, Liam?
44.
Right, okay. Yeah. So we come from a similar time. Yeah. That's the culture.
Great meeting kids now who don't drink and you're like,
at all.
There was nobody, I can't remember anybody who didn't drink when I was a kid. Everyone wanted to do it
as soon as possible.
Exactly. So just growing up in that kind of like football environment, lad culture, sexist, xenophobic, homophobic, all the things that you kind of like relate to being around, like being in a space with a load of white males, do you know what I mean? Or just males of that age anyway, regardless of what race or sex you are. It's there's always that kind of like hating the other people from the other town or the other side of your village even, do you know what I mean? This kind of clan mentality that we've all got, which is nuts. But I got into acting, so I then was exposed to like different races, different cultures, different sexualities, and that was just kind of like the big thing that opened my eyes then. And then going to uni and then traveling, which just kind of makes you realise like this bubble that you've been brought up in is just an illusion. Do you know what I mean? It's a
Mm-hmm.
load of bullshit, really. Everything
Yeah.
that you're getting taught and programmed is because they've never left this area and because they're small-minded and because
Yeah.
they've got these prejudices probably that have been passed on from their families as well. Do you know what I mean? But it's, for me, it was like leaving that cleared a lot of my prejudices and opened my mind to other ways of being and living and
Yeah.
people and mentalities. And
So do you think that were a catalyst? Because in people that are in that situation, sometimes they never leave that environment because that's all they know.
no, I can walk in the pub in South Manchester now, mate. Like all the lads I played football with will still be in there.
Yeah.
And they'll still be slightly racist, slightly xenophobic, homophobic, and all the things, man. But
Yeah.
they're just in their life, aren't they?
Do you think that the acting was the catalyst to sort of see the breakthrough of getting out of that?
I think the acting and taking ecstasy, like taking ecstasy, real like me and my mates growing up, we just shook hands, do you know, when we saw each other, and then we took ecstasy, and like every time you see anybody, it was like cuddle. Do you know what I mean? It was like this total like freedom of people's hearts being open, of like having this deep conversation with your cousin. Like, you've been bullying me for fucking 7 years. Like, I love you. He's like, I love you too. I'm sorry, I didn't realise I was bullying you. I was just doing what my brother did to me. You know, you're like, and your relationship changes and things open up. And like for me, that was a real kind of like a shift for me and my mates, and a lot of people that I knew was taking ecstasy for the first time, and it was getting rid of a lot of rigidity and a lot of conformity and a lot of like, this is how you should be, this is how you've got to show up as a man. Do you know what I mean? You can't show emotion, and if you take ecstasy, you can't help but show emotion. Do you know what I mean?
You're not hiding that shit.
It's all coming out of you.
Yeah.
So it was like, and especially for me, because I was like emotional, sensitive, open, you know, I wasn't bothered about talking about stuff like that, but it just opened us all up, which was incredible.
Well, they're using MDMA a lot in, you know, psychological studies and stuff now, aren't they? You know,
Well,
and
Trump's just opened the door for the psychedelics as well, and he said, well, you know, we can take 5 or 6 years and let this go through the thing, or I'm just going to go, right, we can go today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
that's it.
Yeah.
And that's good. It's good that the change is on the horizon, isn't it? You know, we do need to open our eyes a lot more. You know, the stigma that's attached to certain things, and you know, just be more open and be more curious. I would say.
Definitely.
But yeah, I bet they were fun days then.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So
a lot of fun.
Obviously, for those that don't know you, you've gone down a bit of a path. We talk about, you know, like the dealing and things like that.
Yeah.
And then moving into entrepreneurship and where you are now. You've been on Dragon's Den. You've been, you know, this journey that you've been on is it's quite a wild one. So let's go into the weeds of what came of, you know, your past in terms of what were you doing on the street and stuff like that. And then has this always sort of developed in an entrepreneurial sort of side to you?
I definitely think there's always been an entrepreneurial side to me. And I don't know if it's come from my dad or just like it was in me. But, you know, my dad used to go to Macro. And my dad's a robber. My dad's a thief. He's a proper shoplifter. He's a proper tinker, my dad. He's a proper tinker. And so he's like, I've always been around, like seeing that, you know, and then also seeing him working and grafting. And so he used to go to Macro to get stuff because he had a business card. So I used to always buy Iron Brew bars and Wham bars, like a box of them, and then I'd sell them at school. And I'd make about £5 off a box. But when you like, I don't know, when you're 11, 12, a £5's a lot of money, isn't it? So I guess it started then, and then my dad went and lived in Spain, so he'd always bring me back cigarettes. So I didn't smoke, so I'd like sell the cigarettes per cigarette at school, and then it went into weed, and then obviously weed, MDMA. I never intended to be an ecstasy dealer. It was just I moved to London to go uni. And then we started going out to Fabric, and I was like, right, where do we get pills? And they were like, oh, it's like a tenner each. And I'm like, what? I was like, we only pay £3 for them. So I got on a train, went back to Manchester, got 100 pills and like brought them for all my mates. And then that was my job. Do you know what I mean? And then it just spiraled. And again, it was like I was just going with the energy, but it was, you know, it was a time where I was you know, I had a lot of anxiety because I had a lot of drugs in my drawer in my room. There was a lot of cash, and
Mm.
you're thinking if the police come in now, I'm going jail for quite a long time. Do you know what I mean? So
Or you
you
can get
never,
robbed and
yeah, you never. I was, do you know what? I wasn't that worried about getting robbed. It's like it was like going to prison. It was just like couldn't imagine. Except when I thought I was going to go to prison a few years later, when I did get caught, I was in this so depressed that I actually, part of me wanted to go to prison because I wanted to get away from the world and like detach.
really
I was just like, I just need some space from the
just
pressure of like,
chaos.
just, yeah, because what happened was, so I'd sold drugs, when I was at uni. It actually paid for my studies because I didn't have support from my family to go uni. And that's how I kind of got through uni, paid for my rent, paid for everything. And then while I was in my last year at uni, my mum died, and that kind of had a massive effect on me where I was just like, what the fuck is going on? So I sort of like, and it was the first time where,
That's young as well.
yeah, I was like, I think I was like 20, I was maybe 25 or something because I went to uni a few years later because I worked for a bit when I left school.
Mm.
Um, and when my mum died, I was an atheist. I was against religion, thought it was the worst thing in the world, thought everyone, if you'd shown what I do now to me then, I would have thought I was a fucking lunatic. Do you know what I mean? A cult lunatic in fucking Noddy land, do you know what I mean? And I say that at my events. I was like, if the old me saw this, it'd be just like fucking bunch of idiots, you know. And I'd probably get any cold water as well.
I've seen some of your events. They look high vibe in them.
Totally high vibe, yeah. And so yeah, when my mum died, it was the first time where I was like, well, I feel my mum still, feel her in me, I feel her around me. Like,
Mm.
so so it kind of like, I think when she lived in Manchester and I was getting up to mischief, she couldn't see what I was up to. You know what I mean? And then she saw me with money for the first time, and I just told her I was doing it. I was getting modelling and acting jobs and shit, like just blagging my mum's head. And then when she died, I was like, oh, what if some of this shit people talk about is true and she can see what I'm doing now? Like, she won't be impressed. I'm not making her proud. So it really kind of like that was kind of the key thing that sort of made me start making a lot of positive changes in my life.
I really, really relate to what you're saying here.
Mm,
Same thing. Exactly the same
yeah,
thing. Lost my mum young.
yeah,
We're 23. She died suddenly.
yeah.
Same sort of thing.
But
And
it's
it
world just goes,
shifted.
doesn't it?
It shifted the path that I were on so fast.
Yeah.
And it's that comes back to that thing, doesn't it? Making them proud
Totally,
and,
man.
and living their, like, it's their legacy at the end of the day that's left in you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I totally relate to what you're saying there.
Yeah, and my mum's on, like, every event I do, my mum's on the altar, like, her picture's on the altar. She's
Yeah.
with me at everything. She's part of our marketing within some of our posters and stuff, like the girl who'll put a little photo of my mum just somewhere random. Do you know what I mean? And now, like, I wouldn't be where I am without her dying when she died. So it's all part of the tapestry and of life. Do you know what I mean? And its richness. And I wouldn't have been able to be as relatable to people without having gone through that trauma and that suffering. Because as you'll know, like when you lose your mum, it's, for me, it was like everything because I didn't really have a strong father figure. I didn't have a strong family. I didn't have like a tight family. So she
Brothers
was
and
kind
sisters.
of everything. Yeah, but my two brothers are a lot older and they're half. So there wasn't like as much of a tightness. Like,
Yeah.
still love him, and like one of my brothers get on really well with him. But at that time, it wasn't like kind of like I'd never been a proper brother and sister where we'd grown up together,
Yeah,
or there
yeah.
would been not a massive age gap, and then my
Mm.
sister's 10 years younger than me,
Right.
so there wasn't really, and she's half as well, half sister.
Yeah, that closeness
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, I get what you're
But
saying.
it was kind of, so my mum was kind of everything to me. So when she went, it was just like I felt like unplugged from the matrix, just floating there, going, "Where the fuck do I go now?" Do you know what I mean? Your mum's your rock. Your mum's like you know, if you're a homie, if you're a pigeon and you get let go somewhere, you always go back to your mum, and that's how I always felt. And then when she died, I was like, "Where the fuck do I go? I don't know where to go. Got nowhere to go." And
Yeah.
that fucks you up for quite a while. But that's the catalyst of me then starting to search and study and read and trying to learn about dying and where your spirit goes and reading the Tibetan Book of the Dead and just getting interested in more esoteric shit. But then I was, at the same time, I was getting really depressed and I was getting really suicidal and
Sometimes the more you know, ignorance is bliss sometimes, isn't it? You know, and the more that you're looking into things, the more it can depress you sometimes. The more understanding that you have. And then sometimes you struggle to connect to your tribe. It's like, where do I fit in this now? Because you're changing and evolving massively. And the previous connections that you may have had, you don't feel like you fit in it anymore. And it's like, where am I now?
And that's what keeps you hanging on to those old relationships and friendships that aren't serving you because you haven't got anything else waiting for you. So it's like your paradigm shift affects you because part of you is going, oh, I'll just stay here because it's more comfortable. But then another part of you is going, well, no, I need to go there. That's where my soul's calling me to go. I wrote a poem about it, actually, if you want to hear it.
Do it.
It's called Bubbling Up.
Absolutely.
So it's like when I was going through all this shifting and changing, and I'd started, I think I'd started doing yoga. Don't know if I had started doing yoga. So I started getting into like learning about chakras. I'd started practicing yoga, and that was kind of like the thing that was keeping me slightly sane. And then I remember going out with like my old mates, and then one girl said to me, she was like, when's the old Liam coming back? When's the old Liam coming back? Because I was like the life and soul of the party. Always had drugs, fucking, you know what I mean? Just on it, making everyone laugh. Just, and then she said that to me, and I was just like, do you know what? Fuck that. And then I was in like a shavasana in yoga, like lay down at the end, and then this poem come to me. I was like, right, I need to get out of this shavasana. I was waiting, and I just went out, bam, bam, I wrote this poem. It's called Bubbling Up. Bubbling up. Bubbling up. You don't even put it on the boil. You don't even turn it on. You push it down. You don't let it come up. And you're worried about me. You want me to get better. You should be worried about you and what you've buried. I'm getting better by feeling what I'm feeling. I'm processing shit, bringing it to the boil, letting love and life move me. Take me to rock bottom. Move me to where I should be. Not stick with this familiarity that's not serving me. So don't worry about me. I'm getting lighter and lighter by clearing and clearing what's not serving me. You should be worried about you, adding layer and layer, pushing it down. What about when you built it up too much? It's so dense, it starts to spew out of your mouth, and then it's forced upon you to get it out, get it out, get it out, dribbling out of your mouth. They call it a midlife crisis, but there's just too much, there's just no more space to push it down, push it down, push it down. And now it's covered all over your face and everyone can see it's on display. Every part of your body so tense, so frustrated. Where has this come from? Why now? Why me? What's happening to me? So many years not dealing, putting plaster on plaster, not feeling, not healing. Then it all comes at once. It's too much to take. You feel like life's ending. Wound after wound, scar after scar, heartbreak after heartbreak. They all come to the surface wanting to be dealt with straight away. You don't know where to turn. You feel like you're choking. This is the future you. So don't look at me with pity. I'm just going through what you will go through. I'm just doing it 20 years before you.
Ooh.
So that was basically, fuck you.
Yeah. Wow.
And the funny thing is, man, like, that was probably like, not quite 20 years ago, but not far off. And I've noticed a lot of my old friends now are starting to get into the shit that I was getting into then. So I was doing it 20 years before it. And thankfully, thanks to my mum dying.
It's the calling though, isn't it? And it's that gut-wrenching heartbreak that unfortunately you've got to go through. And sometimes you've got to walk that lonely path a little bit sooner. You know, I can totally relate to all of it. I really can. Like, on a very deep level. And I hope what we try to do with this show is educate, inspire. Fucking hell, if that poem hadn't touched someone, then Jesus, like. Yeah.
It's just like, you know, just go on your path. Don't worry about what other people think. What's in your heart? Where do you want to get to? Like, we're all here to be successful. We're all here to be the best version of ourselves. Not helping other people. By being the best you, that inspires the most amount of people. Not by, if you're trying to help people all the time, when it's like you're trying to help a kid, well, you're going to keep the stabilizers on, aren't you? You're never going to take them off.
Yeah.
And that's what helping people does. What did he do when it's like having a block in yoga. Well, I'm never going to get past the block, am I? Like, so why have I got a block? I'm going to move the block. I need to move the block out of the way now.
Got to go past
because now I've got to go past it.
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of people, 99% of the world have got stabilizers on still with who they're supposed to be, and they're serving their life purpose. Do you know what I mean? or they've got the block. You know what I mean? Because they're stuck in that paradigm, and it's like they're pretending that I'm too old, I'm too gay, I'm too white, I'm too black. Just excuses. So many excuses. And Bob Proctor, don't know if you know who Bob Proctor is. He's
I've
like
heard the
fucking
name.
amazing. Like he's dead now, but he's got the Proctor Gallagher Institute, and he's like all about mindset, abundance, wealth creation.
Mm.
And he's saying like there's this thing called the terror barrier. It's like you start to think about a project or like a new a vision or a dream, and then it gets to a place where it's like, oh, and actually it's really uncomfortable. It's going to take a lot for me to get there. I'm going to go back in my shell. Because you get to the terror barrier, and most people get to the terror barrier and go, and just go back. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, no, it's like getting to the sea and getting cold and then going, which most people do. It's like, no, fucking go past the terror barrier. You get in there, and then you start to get comfortable with the uncomfortable, because all growth only comes from uncomfortableness.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt this amazing conversation. We've just got a quick message for you. At the heart of this podcast, Dan, is human connection.
It sure is.
And now it's amazing for us to say that we also build fully bespoke saunas from design, build and install that also promote the exact same thing, mate, human connection. There's a theme here.
There is. And all built to last, like we just keep saying. We wanted to provide products that last a lifetime, not just for a matter of months. Yeah. That's exactly our ethos and our message. So we wanted the products to match that, and they are the highest quality, the highest form of timber, the best quality heaters, and tempered glass to suit.
Wow. We've not spared expense there, mate. If you're thinking of upgrading your space, whether it's your home, business, studio, wherever you can fit a sauna, basically, we can build it for you. So visit us website on immersesaunas.co.uk, and we'll take it from there. We look forward to building your dream sauna shortly.
Oh yeah. So what's been your biggest educator for that shift, that mindset shift? Because I believe everything comes down to conditioning and training.
Yeah.
Whether it's a physical or a mental thing.
Mm-hmm.
What were that thing that you had to keep drilling? Were it yoga?
The yoga path, really.
Yeah.
Because even all the wealth creation and mindset stuff, to me, it correlates so much with yoga and the teachings and the philosophy of yoga. Because a lot of people, they think yoga is it's just stretching. Yeah. And it's not. You don't need arms and legs to be the most advanced yogi in a room. You just need to be living your life purpose, because yoga is a scientifically designed path, if you follow it, to reach enlightenment. Yeah. So self-realization. Yeah. So self-realization will lead you to enlightenment, which is self-realization is, are you being 100% of you're fulfilling 100% of your potential? Do you know what I mean? Who do you know who's fulfilling 100% of their potential? I don't know anybody.
No.
I'm not.
No, I'm not.
You know what I mean? I'm want to.
Yeah.
I want to try. I'm trying to get there, and I'm fucking probably a high percentage more advanced at it than I was 20 years ago, because I've done the work and I'm practicing. I continually practice, and practice is what makes the master.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? And it's like, I practice every day, and I'm reading every day, and I'm learning every day, and I'll continue to read and learn and practice until the day I die, because your soul's immortal. So you're just gaining this knowledge, and it's like going into, it's your soul, man. It's like, we're just in a vehicle for a period of time. So
forever
make the most
student
of it. Exactly, mate. Exactly. Yeah.
I think it's that continuous development and a mindset of, I've not reached that place, and being curious to continue to go past it and improve, and going through the levels.
And the best way to do it in the quickest amount of time is get fucking rich. Because money gives you the opportunity to do so much more, to give so much more, to be of so much more service. But some people get it the wrong way around, and they want to serve and give from an empty cup.
Yeah.
It's like, serve and give from a full cup, man.
Yeah.
Get rich.
Yeah. So let's move on to that. So you've gone from this colourful past,
yeah,
to then finding a different life's purpose, and
spirituality,
obviously
yoga,
That's
spirituality. That was like the next big phase for me. Was like this. I had a massive awakening. Do you know what I mean? When I was going to prison, when I thought I was going to prison, I started doing the 12 steps. I got caught with a lot of drugs on me, ended up having a court case,
Right.
got found guilty, thought I was going to prison for a long time. Well, thought I was going to prison. My brief said, you're going to get 3 years. You'll probably end up doing a year. She went, that's the minimum that you're going to get. She went, you could get 16 years.
Oh,
And I was like,
Oh.
fucking hell.
so when's this?
This is 2011, end of 2011.
Shit.
So I'd got arrested in the April. Court case wasn't till the November. And my girlfriend said, if you don't go prison, I'm like, fucking everyone's telling me I'm going prison. She went, yeah, but if you don't, like, we'll go to India. And then I got found guilty. It's like, oh, I'm going prison. Definitely going prison. And then basically I had my hearing, your what is it called? Like your sentencing. And I got 150 hours and like 150 hours community service and no suspended sentence. And my barrister was like, I can't believe, but I had a lot of letters off like mates of mine who were like surveyors, teachers. You know what I mean? I was, I was still a good person with a good art. All I was doing was making people dance. Do you know what I mean? I'm making a bit of money out of it. I wasn't like selling crack or heroin or, it was like literally people were dancing, having amazing sex from the stuff that I was giving them, that was about as bad as it got.
Yeah.
But it's just that happens to be illegal.
Soz, guys.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I didn't have any ethical or moral. I still don't have any ethical or moral issues with what I was doing. There's some things in my life were out of alignment, but I was just making money for something that some dickhead in a suit who's gone to Eton is saying is illegal. When actually all them lot are probably the biggest drug dealers in the world. You know what I mean?
Big
and they
time.
push, alcohol's pushed everywhere, coffee's pushed everywhere.
Yeah.
So much stuff that's bad for us. If you go to a hospital that's the NHS, you get the worst meal you've ever seen in your fucking life.
And the pharmaceuticals that go with it. That's a different rabbit hole. That were the rabbit hole that I went down. I went down the health rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And being quite angry at the world for a while. Do you know what I mean? Thinking like, this is fucking corrupt, this system, like what's going on? And again, that took the death of my mum to really start to delve into the weeds of things like that.
Yeah.
And that sort of gave me my purpose. So yeah, I feel you, mate. And
because it does make you angry at first, but then you've got to get past that. Like I was very angry. I'm not now. I'm just like, I just observe stuff.
yeah, it's layers
Like,
of grief.
if you want to
though,
be in
innit?
that system, you be in that system.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be in that system.
Oh, I were a pain in the ass for quite a few years. When someone's just pissed off, and like any opportunity you get to try and put your point across to someone about how fucked up the world is, like I were more than happy to give it. And I were like, what am I doing here? I was so passionate, but I've definitely relaxed a little bit more as life's gone on. You've got to.
I think age does it as well, doesn't it? But then you also have a realization. It's like, I think during like COVID and that, I went to a couple of the protests and I just realized I was around lots of angry people. It's like pointing fingers at the government. It's like, should we just go and do what we want to do? Like, you're not going to change them. So it's a lot of wasted energy.
100%.
So why don't you just go and make amazing things happen? So that's what I just went. I'm not going again. I'm going to go and make amazing things happen. And that's what
protesting and things like that, and shouting and bawling. Like, what are you actually doing, achieving?
Yeah.
It's like throwing a chicken in there and
on
expecting
an
it to fly.
energetic level, you're actually creating more of what you don't want, because the universe, anything you're giving attention and energy to will create more of it.
Yeah.
That's a universal law.
Yeah.
So it's like, focus and like put your energy into something that you want, not what you don't want. Because if you put your energy to something that you don't want, you're going to get fucking more of it.
Yeah.
It's like, that's yoga. That's what yoga teaches you. And it shows you. Do you know what I mean? It's
yeah, absolutely. So let's go into where you are now. You've been on Dragon's Den. That's quite an audacious thing to do.
That's what people keep saying. I thought it was a piece of piss.
Love that. Love that.
But I wouldn't have done other than at that point in my life. Do you know what I mean? If I'd have gone in there 5 years earlier, I would have fucked it up. But it was all perfectly aligned, and I was in a good place. I was confident. I knew what I was doing. My mindset was good. The only bit that I was a little bit nervous about was basically the pitch at the beginning is scripted by yourself. It's not like they don't script it, but they do check it. They go, you can't say that, you can't say that. And it's like a 3 to 5 minute monologue, which is your pitch.
Yeah.
And then obviously I'm cheeky bastard, so I went off piste a little bit with it. Changed it because I was like, I'm not fucking diluting it that much.
Yeah, this is
But then
my time.
they cut out what they want to cut out anyway. So
Yeah.
and then I came up with a couple of tricks if I'd fucked it up, which I would do. So it meant that they wouldn't film my fuck up. Because you know when someone fucks up on Dragon's Den and they fuck the pitch up, because it's scripted, so it's difficult.
Yeah.
I've got an acting background and I still found it difficult. So some people are going in there, they ain't got an acting background, they just got to do this pitch and they're shitting themselves, you know what I mean? So I could imagine, so I was like, right, if I fuck it up, I'm going to swear really loud, like just make loads of noise and swear. Like I said, fuck bastard, fucking cunt, twat, bastard. And then I was like, compose yourself, get it out of your system, get back to where you was, go for it. So it ended up making it, they couldn't cut it in a way that made me look bad.
Okay.
Because I'd swore so much.
Yeah.
So the dragons are looking at me and going, fuck, cunt, bastard, twat, twat. Right, okay, well, come on. Back in the room, do you know what I mean?
Wow. I bet they didn't know what was going on.
They didn't know what the fuck was going on, man. Especially because I told Peter Jones, you're going to have to shut up, mate, if we're going to get through this.
Oh, wow. I love that. Just being yourself, though, and just...
Well, the way my mindset was, I'm giving them an opportunity. They're not giving me an opportunity. I'm not one with a business. I'm giving you an opportunity. The BBC's giving me a big opportunity by putting me on the TV for 15 minutes because that's going to change the vibration of the whole nation. Do you know what I mean? 6.9 million people heard the word cacao that had never heard it before.
Yeah.
That's an instant win.
Yeah.
Even if they didn't buy, they've heard the word cacao, so it's planted a seed. Oh yeah, I've heard that before. So when they see it again, it cognates a little bit.
Yeah.
But ultimately, I just went in there with a mindset, get a pitch out of the way. And because I hold ceremonies for 500 people and I'm for 5 hours, I was like, well, it's going to be easy for me to hold a cacao ceremony for 5 people for, I don't know, an hour. Do you know what I mean? And I ended up being in there for nearly 2 hours.
Did you not feel the pressure?
No, once I got the pitch out of the way,
Love that.
I was just like, this is mine, man. Like, if they want to buy into it, they do. If they don't, I'm going to be successful regardless of whatever happens in here. You know what I mean? Because fortunate, or if I didn't get investment, that I can flip that to being fortunate for me. Or I can flip it to be unfortunate. But why would I ever want to flip anything for it to be unfortunate for me? The universe is working for me, not against me in every situation. So it's like, if I step into that alignment, even when something, your old self would class as catastrophic, I go, the universe is working for me, not against me. Oh, this is happening for a reason. Right, okay, where's the gold in this situation? Do you know what I mean? Even from your mum dying, my mum dying, it was like, oh, even at that time, and I hadn't done any of this work, I was like, oh, thank God I didn't die before her though, because she wouldn't have been able to deal with that. So that was my saving grace when my mum died, was at least she died before me in the natural way, because she would have fucking struggled like fuck if I'd died.
Fair point.
Do you know what I mean? So it was always, I must have always had this thing in my head of trying to find a favourable way of viewing something. I just didn't know it at the time. So yeah, going in the den, man, it was like, it was good. It was just like, but it's kind of like you do it. Imagine and then you get the investment, and it's like, yeah, it's like winning the FA Cup for the first time, and then behind closed doors and not being able to tell your mates when you get out.
Yeah, I bet that was
because you got 7 months of just sitting on it.
Oh wow,
7. I mean, 7 months of just going, and then so you still, even 10 days before it gets aired. I'm gonna have to tell you about Cacao in a minute because they don't even know about Cacao yet.
No.
What my business is.
Yeah, we were gonna get there.
And yeah, it was even they said, right, you can only start promoting you being on the show a week before. So I think mine was series episode 2 or 3, but they start rolling me in the promo of Dragon's Den. So my clips are being used in the promo of the series. So I'm getting loads of messages. You're on Dragon's Den. How did it go? I'm like, fucking, what am I supposed to say? And so I just messaged all my mates and just said, yeah, I fucked it. I'm sorry, but it was fun, but I fucked it. So everyone that I knew who'd seen that, who'd messaged me, thought I'd fucked it.
Ah, okay.
And then I just waited for it to
smooth.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's smooth. So, the business,
Cacao.
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 How did you end up there? What were the catalysts that pulled you towards that?
So, when I was in that really depressive state, I'd started doing all my spiritual stuff, yoga, but I was still suicidally depressed. Yeah. I'd been suicidally depressed for probably a couple of years. I was thinking of ending my life. And then I decided, I was like, right, I got this. Went to see a psychic. I was doing healing. I was doing a lot of spiritual stuff, meditation, going to a lot of like events and stuff, and just trying to like understand, but also trying to get out of this depression. Like, what am I supposed to be doing with my life? What am I here to do? I felt like there was something big for me to
Is
do.
that what were causing it? Because you felt lost?
Well, I felt lost, but also I was just I felt lost. I didn't feel like, I just felt sad all the time.
Mm.
In 2 years, I had one day where I felt maybe happy, which is horrific. Horrific for your skin, horrific for your body, horrific. Like, you're living in something that feels like it's dying. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine just being in a house that was damp, mouldy, shit everywhere, like just disgusting. That's how I felt every day for a long time. And then when basically a load of events happened and I ended up booking on this pilgrimage to go to Guatemala. I was on the dole and I decided, I was like, right, I want to go on this trip. So I'm going to put everything into like spirituality and earning money so that I've got $5,000 in my bank account when I go on this travels, and I've paid for everything. I paid for all my trips, but I've got $5,000 to spend to go on this thing. Basically, cut a long story short, met this woman doing a pilgrimage to Guatemala for the end of the Mayan calendar. I'd been reading all these spiritual books, and they all spoke about the end of the Mayan calendar, which is the 21st of the 12/12. So it's the opening the calendar is like the 12/12/12. The 21st. 21/12/12 is like the end of the Mayan calendar, but it's the start of a new cycle. But the cycle's like 52,000 year
That's
calendar.
winter solstice, is it?
Yeah, the winter solstice. Yeah, so the end of the Mayan calendar is on the
Yeah.
winter solstice, every year. But some of the calendars are a year long. Some of the calendars are 2,000 years long, and this calendar was like a 52 or 56,000 year cycle. So that's why the West thought the world was ending. But that's the equivalent of us every January, every every New Year's Eve going, oh, the world's going to end. It's going to end tomorrow. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it just starts the next calendar.
Yeah.
The next year, and that's what happens with. So there's another 1,000 year cycle would started then.
Okay.
So I'd been reading about all these prophecies, different prophecies from all over the world that all pinpointed this specific date. So I was like, fucking hell, the Mayan civilization is the center of that prophecy, and she's doing a pilgrimage to there. I've got to go on her. So I went. But one of the other reasons was I wanted to go and do ayahuasca, because I felt like ayahuasca would have I wanted to find a purpose, and I got told by a lot of people that ayahuasca kind of like propelled you towards your life purpose of understanding who you were, not being afraid of what you were supposed to be in the planet. So my whole vision was to go to Peru and drink ayahuasca in the Amazon. And then when we were on this pilgrimage, we went to a load of Mayan sites. We're doing a lot of like trippy, fucking mental stuff that was actually what I was wanting to experience.
Did you do ayahuasca on that?
No, I did ayahuasca in Peru.
Right.
This was just like some mad meditations and like crazy shit. It's all in my book, actually. If anyone wants to read my book, Dealer to Healer, it's in my book. Like it's incredible. People think, did that actually happen? I'm like, it actually happened.
There's so many people that have profound impacts through those psychedelics.
Yeah.
I just recently had a DMT experience, and I'm going to have a bit of a journey with it, because I didn't properly break through. I were holding on for dear life. Do you know what I mean? And I just didn't get where I needed to go.
Yeah.
I don't smoke, so that's why it just like absolutely leathered my throat.
Yeah, you've got to
and I couldn't get past it, you know. But in terms of the experience itself, like such a fucking wild experience and like a light show that you could never even explain.
With like geometric
You
patterns
can't
and
explain what you see.
kaleidoscope. Yeah, you can't bring in. The thing is, it's basically when you go into one of them experiences, like God or what the medicine shows you so much, but then trying to cognitively bring that back, you have a feeling of the experience, but to explain exactly what happened, it's like me flipping through a Harry Potter book or a Lord of the Rings, going,
Yeah.
and you've seen every word. You've seen every word. Tell me the story. Oh, it's too fast. Yeah, but you've seen every word. And that's what kind of what DMT experience is like for me. It's like, I've seen everything, but I can't explain it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I know I've seen it, but like for me with like the plant medicines, like with DMT, with Bufo, with ayahuasca, San Pedro, peyote, iboga, ibogaine, mushrooms, psilocybin. Like, I don't understand how you can do something like that and then still deny that something exists other than this, what we can see. Do you know what I mean? Because we're only seeing 0.005% of visible light. So we're basically blind.
Yeah.
But then if we did put that up to 1%, we'd probably all have like an explosion, because it'd be too overwhelming. Like, because we're swimming in a sea of cosmic consciousness. We're
Yeah.
basically in an ocean. Yeah, it's like when we go in the water, we know we're in a liquid or substance, but when we're in the air, we don't quite comprehend the substance. It's like the dolphin doesn't realize it's in a substance. But when it's in the air, it's like fucking gonna die,
Yeah.
suffocating. So it's the opposite. So we're all in a substance. Do you know what I mean? And it's like to realize that thought is the finest of all substances, of all waves. So everything comes from thought. This comes from thought. That comes from thought. You know, you come from thought, I come from thought. We all come from the same substance, but it's just thought putting it in a certain molecular pattern and vibrating the things together in a certain way that make it look like a solid. Because we know the table scientifically isn't solid.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's just molecules.
Yeah.
And that's like the universe, man.
It blows your mind, doesn't it? When you start going down that path.
Yeah, but it's just realizing like we can't see. We're blind, so it's like thinking that we know everything when we see so little, and thinking that what we can't see doesn't exist. So it's like just spirits, energies, like vibrations, connections, thought waves that can go not just across the Atlantic to America, but all over the universe instantly, because we're in this sea of this thick waves of cosmic consciousness that surround us all the time. And if we could see it, we'd vomit, and we'd have it'd
be overwhelming.
We'd have a nerve like, oh, fuck, that's too much. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
is that like the part where you felt compelled to take a different path? So you've gone on this trip. You've started to explore psychedelics.
I think I'd already decided to take a different path from the moment I got arrested with all them drugs on me, and I started doing the 12 steps of recovery. That was when it was like, need to sort my shit out, need something. Got a lot from the 12 steps. Was committed to not having a spiritual awakening and passing on the message, which is step 11 and 12. But then subsequently did them without me knowing, by like every time I do a Cacao ceremony, every time like my book, that's all step 12. I'm giving back, like people are learning. I'm passing on knowledge that I've got all the time. I'm teaching people, I train people how to hold Cacao ceremonies. So it's like, that's my step 12. And I didn't even realize it. I just didn't want to be part of that fellowship and like be saying that I'm an addict every day. Because it's like, I'm in recovery. It's like, yo, I'm recovered.
Do you think that's dangerous for people that are in that process? So because I had that opposing view. I was talking to somebody about it, and he said, I am an addict.
Yeah.
And I said, be careful how you describe yourself.
Yeah.
Because I believe that you will continue to have those traits that can be negative.
Totally.
Even if you
are what you say you are.
Yeah, even if you were addicted to fitness, it can be unhealthy. Everything's got a barometer. Everything's got a threshold. And I think, it's that sort of thing that people have got to be careful of.
Yeah, because I see some people in the gym at 6 a.m. and it's like, if you were an alcoholic, I wouldn't be serving you anymore. So someone should be stopping you coming in here in the morning. Do you know what I mean? You look ill. You look vulnerable. You look sick.
Mm.
And it's like in another situation, like in McDonald's, like, do you want to be serving someone massive, you know, a Big Mac deal or a family bucket, you know? Because in a pub, you wouldn't serve them if they were pissed out of their heads,
Yeah.
a drink. So
Mm.
it's like, yeah, deep.
It is. We like it on this. This is what we do.
But yeah, so like on that trip in Guatemala, I'd read about this place called San Marcos on this Lake Atitlan, which is a beautiful lake. It's actually the crater of a volcano, and it's got another 3 volcanoes overlooking at it. It's paradise, man. It's insane. But I'd read about this place called San Marcos, and it was like a little spiritual hub. And obviously, that was my focus at that time. I was like, how do I grow spiritually? I felt this connection. I felt like this was like I found truth at last. But I still felt depressed. I still felt like I wanted to kill myself. I still was waking up like, why do I feel like this all the time?
Anxious.
Just anxious, just fucking dark, just
Horrible.
sick, minging, yeah.
Been there as well.
Yeah, nasty, innit? It's
Horrible.
like you feel like you've took a substance and your body's like toxic.
Yeah.
It's nasty, man.
Our empty. You know, like
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you're starving, hungry, and
Yeah.
and your stomach's rumbling, you're completely empty.
Yeah.
We're like that. Similar sort of feeling
Yeah,
to
yeah,
that.
totally. It's
I
like
was
it's going
spent.
round and round, innit?
Yeah, I was spent.
And your gut's kind of like churning itself up.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't change it because that's the process you have to go through to find what is going to bring you joy.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like for me, depression is a beautiful gift, because it's showing you, this isn't working. You need to find something else. Your soul's not aligned with this. That's why you're feeling sad. And I was then on this search for what does my soul align for, and I met this guy and he said, oh, you should go to this cacao shaman. You sit on his porch, you drink cacao, and you get a little bit high, and he does loads of healing. It's like a 5-hour ceremony. I was like, a what? He's like, a cacao shaman. I was like, what's a cacao? He's like, a chocolate shaman. I was like, a fucking chocolate shaman, bro. I was like, I'm here for ayahuasca, mate. I think I need something fucking, I don't need Willy Wonka and a load of scouts and palumpers like telling me what I should be doing. I'm healing me. And I was, but do you know what? I was like, fuck it. Let's go. Let's try it. I was up for trying anything at that time. I was like, I'll have a sex change. I'll join a monastery. I'll do whatever I need to do. If something's showing me that's what I should be doing, I'm going to go with that. Because I was like, maybe I'll just go and live in a monastery in Tibet or something, or maybe when I went on that trip, I actually thought I would never come back. I thought I'll find a community to live in Guatemala or kill myself over there. I was like,
wow,
I'm not coming back to Manchester. I'm done. I had a leaving party and everything.
Wow.
But I thought I'm going on this trip to find purpose, find somewhere that I feel, because obviously when your mum dies, you don't have that home, that solid, that anchor.
Yeah.
So it was like, where's my anchor now? So I was kind of like, I was open to anything. And then, went and sat with the cacao shaman in this little porch that he had, and he'd probably be like 20 people there. And he'd been doing this for like 15 years, this guy. And then I learned about cacao. I'd never heard of cacao before, but I'd heard of chocolate because I'd ate chocolate my whole life. I didn't realize chocolate was grown on a tree, and it's actually the cacao tree that it's grown on. And then realized that there's different species of cacao trees, and ceremonial grade cacao, which was used by the Mayans, the Aztecs, the Incas, the Toltecs, the Olmecs, had ceremonial purposes, was used in ceremonies, was used as a healing medicine, was used as a mind-altering substance, but it's not as famous as the psychedelics because it's not psychedelic, it's psychoactive. So cacao, say like ayahuasca or psilocybin, when you've consumed it, it takes you to the door of perception and smashes you through and takes you on a journey for 8 hours or 5 hours, whatever it is. You can't, after an hour, go, right, guys, I'm done. It's like, no, we're not, you're here with us.
Yeah.
We're taking you. You can't say you're done. It's like,
you don't have a say in this.
And you don't have any say. Like when you've taken ayahuasca, if it wants to fuck with you for 5 hours or 8 hours, there's nothing you can do about it. You've taken it, you're in it for as long as it lasts. Yeah. Whereas cacao will take you to the door of perception and go, would you like to go on a journey? This is up to you. We'll go on a journey together. We can explore some traumas. We can get rid of some shit. We can go into your creativity, your life purpose. What are you ready for? I'll hold your hand. you know what I mean? And it'll go with you rather than come on.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I'm a bit more like come on. So that's like my combination with the cacao is quite a good blend, because I just want people to have a breakthrough today. I want you to make some changes today, positive shift today. Do you know what I mean? And the cacao, the cacao is just opening the heart. Capillaries in the arteries around the heart are opening. The oxygenation of the brain is like oxygen's going around the brain about 20% more. So the brain's like just clear. So when you've got a clear brain and mind, you can drop into the heart a lot easier. So the soul, the mind of the soul is the heart. So it's like we want to be listening to the heart, not the brain. The brain's just a muscle, it's a bicep. Do you know what I mean? It allows us to do things. It's a great machine, but it's not who we are. Yeah.
It's an inhibitor as well.
And it's an inhibitor, but also it's what all your creativity comes from. It's like how you work something out. Like if I took acid now, the left side of your brain kind of shuts off. So I would have to look at that door handle and try and figure out and remember from a part of my brain that's now shut off, how the fuck do we open that door? I know how to do it, but you're sifting through files, which usually you can just automatically do. So it shows you that the brain is doing a lot of your processes for you all the time without you even thinking about it. Like I could open that door now without really putting too much effort into it.
Yeah.
But try doing that when you've taken fucking acid. Yeah, if you make a piece of toast when you've got on acid, it takes you about an hour and a half, where it'll take you about 3 minutes if you're not on acid. So it's like the brain is like, it's a muscle, but it's also what the mental health crisis that we have is because people
Sorry to interrupt you there, guys. We've got a massive announcement, Dan. We've managed to partner with Pure Sport, which is one of the most exciting brands at the minute in the UK, my friend.
That's it, built to last, in it for the long run, as the hashtag says. All the similar sorts of messages behind the ethos of the brand, and it really fits in alignment with us. We know that they're athlete tested.
Even Lucy Bronze is using their products. She's a friend of the show.
The magnesium and the ashwagandha and all those other products that are related to recovery are super useful for me right now. I'm really feeling the benefit. The electrolytes is definitely the best I've tasted.
They're the best I've tasted as well, without sounding biased, my friend. But yeah, it just lines up with everything that we preach, mate. No shortcuts, just solid daily habits that actually make you feel better.
If you want to try these guys, use the Immerse 10 for 10% off at the checkout.
Now back to the episode. Sorry for interrupting you there. Crack on.
Let's go.
Think they're the mind when they're not. The mind is just doing what the mind does all the time. The mind's just thinking, creating stories, weaving plots.
The vehicle.
And it can be positive or negative. And that's all to do with what you put into it. Like you are what you eat, you are what you think, and are what you consume, are what you who you hang around with, the energy that you're picking up all the time. So it's like, for me, a big shift was like, what do I want to be putting into my brain? What do I want to be thinking? How do I send out positivity, and how am I not angry with the world, which is what I used to be.
Yeah. Who do you want to be around?
Yeah. You're the sum total of the 7 people you spend the most amount of time with. So you need to kind of make sure they're fucking awesome. And if you think, well, I've been friends with them for 19 years, but they're an arsehole and they make you feel shit every time you're around them, you need to fuck them off.
Yeah.
Because you're just going to stay stuck.
That's it.
And you don't have to, it's like, but loyalty. No. Loyalty is to your highest version of yourself and God. That's all. Not someone else who's dragging you down.
You can still show them love, respect, empathy, but you just don't need to get involved.
Just don't be in a small room with them.
In the nonsense, and spend too long of a time in a situation or something. It's ultimately being self-aware, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize the deeper levels of benefits of the cacao.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a nice alternative to, let's say, your morning coffee.
Well, it is, but it has a lot.
By the way, we're having a beautiful drink right now, and this is so nice. By the way,
cheers.
What have we got in here today?
So that's the full power cacao. It's ceremonial grade Sol del Lago, single origin, Criollo cacao. So the Criollo species of the tree is what all your ceremonial cacao comes from, and this is the highest level and frequency of cacao that exists on the planet from this certain region, which I've come across. And I have pretty much tried every cacao that exists on Earth, I think. And this was the one that just blew me socks off. But yeah, I've sweetened it with a little bit of agave, coconut sugar. I've put some fresh ginger in there, grated, and a little bit of a little bit of Celtic sea salt.
Beautiful.
It's absolutely bang. So benefits wise, cacao is one of the only foods in the world that contains a chemical called anandamide. And ananda is a Sanskrit word that means bliss. And anandamide is the bliss molecule. So you're basically drinking bliss. Yeah, so it's like anandamide, like we were talking about ecstasy earlier. Anandamide helps to reduce manageable amounts of serotonin, dopamine, phenylethylamine, tryptophan, all your chemicals that are associated with feelings of love, being in love, or like the love you have for a daughter or a spouse, whatever. It's like those are the chemicals that are produced in those times. Love making, do you know what I mean? That's all these chemicals are getting released. But unlike ecstasy, cacao releases manageable amounts, so you're not being depleted. Do you know what I mean? Because if you take ecstasy, fucking, or you bliss, or you're depressed for a few days afterwards. Do you know what I mean? It has a come down on it, whereas this doesn't. Even if you do a ceremonial grade the next day, ceremonial dose, sorry, the next day you'll feel great.
Yeah, so what would be a ceremonial dose in comparison to what we're having right here?
You've probably got 20 grams in there, 20 grams of cacao, and ceremonial dose is 50 grams.
Oh, okay.
So ceremonial dose, 50 grams will put you in a slightly altered state for 4 to 5 hours.
Okay.
But
bit like mushroom kind of feel?
No, it's really subtle. It's really subtle, and you only really recognize it if you're doing something like if you're trying to be creative or you're trying to meditate or you want to go out, because it's still got a stimulant in it, like coffee's got caffeine in it.
Yeah.
Cacao's got a chemical called theobroma, which is kind of like it's a cousin to caffeine, but it's a nicer cousin. So it's like going to a wedding, you've got your Uncle Dickhead and your really nice uncle. Yeah. Like theobroma's your nice uncle, caffeine's your Uncle Dickhead. He's like all over the place, like jittery, and he's like, fucking wish he wasn't my uncle. And that's how we feel on coffee a lot of the time. It's very spiky, isn't it? It's like energetically, it puts us in a little bit of fight and flight. And a lot of people are trying to come off coffee now, and cacao is like the most beautiful alternative because you're still getting the stimulation, you're still getting the activation, but you're not getting the crash afterwards. And it increases your focus and your creativity quite a lot. So it's, and for brain cognition, it's amazing. The flavonoid, the magnesium content. There's loads of research been done about stem cell regeneration from drinking cacao as well. Recovery for gym. Pre-workout, post-workout. It's really good for losing weight. It's really good for gaining weight because you can lose weight by replacing one of your meals and having a cacao instead.
Yeah.
Because you're still getting a lot of your protein.
Calorie controlled as well.
You're still getting a lot of your nutritional content that you would get from a meal in a cacao. But you're missing a meal, but you're still feeling full from it.
I've got to say, like right now, I was thinking this earlier, I was thinking, I feel super chilled, but really dialed in. Like, you know, my concentration feels nice and sharp.
Yeah.
Like I'm extremely present in this room right now. Do you know what I mean?
It's
like
a cacao, man. Yeah.
Yeah, my mind won't going off and drifting into other things. Like I tick a lot of boxes for ADHD. Who doesn't? We're all finding that out about ourselves now, aren't we? And I think conditioning of mobile phones definitely doesn't help that. But fucking hell, my mind's working differently. Definitely. I do feel that.
It's like a lot of writers use cacao.
Cheers.
Cheers, bro.
Thank you.
Thank you, mate. Very
much appreciated.
A little top up, actually. Yeah. I think I've got a bit more.
I've got a little bit left.
But yeah, so Keith is the cacao shaman.
Well, that's what I call Alex.
Is it?
Yeah.
We could have had 2 Keiths. But he would say, like, a lot of writers would come to him and they would, like, say, basically, you know, like someone who's writing a book, they might have like 3 stories weaving through it that all kind of meet at some point. He was like, people are drinking cacao, a ceremonial dose of cacao in the morning to go and do their writing. He said they've got 7 stories weaving and they can do it because their brain's like expanded. So they've got more neural pathways. Like the research that's been done into cacao is incredible. Like what happened in the chocolate industry. So chocolate, most of your commercial chocolate is missing anywhere between 99%, and a really good bar of chocolate will be missing 80% of what's in that goodness and superfood benefits that's in ceremonial grade cacao. Yeah, criollo cacao. However, obviously the marketers of the chocolate companies are pretty on it, and they pretend that dark chocolate, they test it on this, and then they put the results into what dark chocolate's good for. There's very little commercial dark chocolate that can be slightly good for you, but it's not giving you the benefits of what they've done the testing on.
I
You know what I mean?
I don't feel like I feel now if I have a piece of Bourneville.
No.
It's different.
Well, that's the great thing. Most people still take the piss and say you just sell chocolate and put an expensive price on it, and it's like, oh man, it's a lot more into
Try it.
that. And the blessing that we do on it, like I do a whole ceremony, like energetics. Again, that's stuff that people can't see. And if they could see what I was putting into it, they'd want to pay 3 times what they're paying for it. Because the energy and the vibrate. Like I've had Tibetan monks messaging us going, "Can you just tell us what the energy you're putting into this?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's the Christ conscious energy." So explain. And I'm like, "Well, I chant this mantra into it for this, and I chant this mantra into this. I ask for everybody that consumes the cacao to step into their abundance, to step into the higher self, and may everybody who consumes, or may everybody whose lips this cacao touches, have an advancement and an upgrade in their energetic field, and feel the love that exists inside them and around them all the time. Like just different things. Sometimes I focus on abundance and money in a batch that comes through. Sometimes I'll focus on like self-worth, growth, energy, expansion of the human being. It's like, depends, man. But a lot of times cacao is about fertility. Cacao's like energy is like fertility, abundance, prosperity. Yeah. And abundance, like, especially in the spiritual community, like money, the word money is like going into a corporate office and saying the word God. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's like, when actually money's just an energy. Do you know what I mean? And like, I don't know.
Transaction, yeah.
And the truth inside everybody is that the whole of nature is to expand and to grow and to be more prosperous and to produce more. And that's what nature does. Nature doesn't like go, yeah, I'm just going to stop here.
You've grown
Nature's
enough
like,
tree.
I'm going to go as big as I can. I'm going to have as much offspring as I can. We're going to try and take over it. Then we got a little battle and there's a little war with some strawberries or something. Do you know what I mean? It's like, maybe, oh no, we've got to give them a bit of space. Do you know? But they want to be as big as possible. Whereas there's this thing with a lot of humans, and I think it comes from, it's a cover up of not being the best version of yourself by making fun of people who are being successful. And what you find in the UK as well, so we love a rags to riches, so everybody loves this, me coming from what I've come from, having a successful
business.
But then
it's like you've done enough now. Don't
but
grow
they want
too
you to
much.
go back. Yeah.
Come back down a peg. Because
like, I see you in one car and they go, yeah, he's showing off his collection of cars. It's like, I've got one car. I've got one car. Like, I haven't got a collection of cars, man. But the shit that you hear on the internet that people make up, or stories that people make up. Like I heard that I was to blame for the cacao crisis 2 years ago when I buy, so Venezuela, where I buy the cacao from, accounts for 5% of the world's cacao growing.
Okay.
And I buy like less than 1% of the output of Venezuela as a country. Like a lot less than 1% of their output as a country. Probably like 0.000000001% of what... And I was at fault for the global cacao crisis. I loved it. I was just reading it going, fucking idiots people, aren't they? Like they just make shit up in there.
Where with that? Yeah, social media is...
I'm off it now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Just like, dust me head in. Because people are just coming. My thing is, as soon as you're pointing a finger, there's always 2 or 3 pointing back at you. So everything that people get uncomfortable about something that I'm doing. And my thing is to make people uncomfortable. I am a trigger. My purpose on the world is to make you uncomfortable, because that is the only place you're going to grow from. That's what I do as a teacher. Like in my events, I trigger people. Yeah. But I'm like, stay with me, because this will make sense towards the end of the event and will make sense in the coming days to come. And you'll go away from this and you'll have some sort of breakthrough and you're going, I paid 55 quid for that. Wow.
And it's
I would have paid,
transformative.
and it's transformed your life. Like
Yeah.
people have come to my abundance events, and they've got since I did your thing, I've started this business. It's got and my mindset and everything I'm doing your morning practices,
Yeah.
and it's like fucking amazing. It's
That's-
like, but you've got to do the work, man.
I seen something on your social where you're proper getting after it in a church. Everyone's going wild. Looks like you're having
It's
a
mad, yeah.
rave in the church. What was going
We
on
have
there?
a rave. Well, just because
It was something like I've never seen before.
Yeah. So my cacao ceremonies started off in a space this big, maybe with 8 people. Do you know what I mean? And then a tent in my garden with 10 people. And it was all, I didn't have a lot of instruments then. It was more just like how I'd seen Keith do it with my spin on it. It was like some nice spiritual music, some mantras. I'd talk a bit about yogic philosophy and that. I'd do hands-on healing on people when the Cacao took them on a guided meditation. And then I used to take people on the field over there. I lived on a council estate, so this was in a bell tent in my garden and my council house.
Okay.
And then I'd lived across the road from some fields. So at the end, I'd go, right, let's go and have a dance just to like shake all the, because people would be crying. There'd be like trauma coming up out of them, like from things that had happened in the past or stuff that they hadn't dealt with. So it's quite it can be a deep experience. So I'd go, right, let's go on the field over the road, and I'd bring my speaker, a massive speaker, and we'd put some fucking drum and bass on or some dance music and just have a dance for like 20 minutes and then boom, right, okay, close the ceremony down. And then I think it was, what happened? I'd been doing this thing before, when I was just a yoga teacher. I was doing these yoga raves. So I was teaching like a fucking banging asana practice, hardcore asana, like lots of different crazy balances and stuff.
Right.
But with a DJ. So
Okay.
I'd have a DJ through this event. And then I started putting on festivals, and I was doing different elements and using different things and using mantra in a different way. And then obviously you get more people. So you got 300 people. So it's got to be a bit bigger. Can't just be like it was when I was in my tent, because people will feel left out. Do you know what I mean? So it's got to be bigger.
Yeah.
And then after Dragons Den, I'm on a stage for the first time. And I'm like, my fucking garden with 10 people 3 years ago. Before Dragons Den, I was still getting 100 people at my events. I'd built it up before then, where it was like, I was still the biggest in the world at it then. And then after Dragons Den, it like tripled. Whereas, because some people are like, yeah, you shouldn't really have more than 10 to 8 people at a cacao ceremony. It's like, why? No, you can only have 10 to 8 people because that's all you can get at your cacao ceremonies. Do you know what I mean? I've been doing this for 14 years. Do you know what I mean? It's not like I've just come on. I saw something. I'm like, do you know what? I'm going to go on Dragon's Den with Cacao. No, I've been doing it since 2012.
Yeah.
I went on Dragon's Den in 2021, 22.
That's
no,
probably
23.
That's probably the confidence, though, the level of confidence that you felt in yourself and the product and everything. It's because it's that repetition of over and over again and knowing exactly. I think people get anxious and they lack confidence when they've underprepared.
Definitely.
And you were well prepared
as well. Well, the great thing is now I've just been on tour around the UK, and I've done, how many ceremonies have I done? Maybe like 8 or 10 ceremonies. I don't have to prepare anything for them because I've been doing them for 14 years. I might add a little bit of something. They're all different because I don't plan anything. I just go, right, what am I feeling now? Who am I working with? Because I'll have different musicians with me sometimes. But ultimately, I don't have to sit there and prep it for a day. The only prep I do is like setting up my instruments when I get to the venue and like sussing out the venue, like what's going to work, what can I throw in here? Do you know what I mean? Maybe I'll get a bit creative or a bit inspired, but I don't have to plan my ceremonies.
So is it a bit like a sound bath? Is it similar
There's
to
a
that?
sound bath within it. So it's yogic philosophy, a lot of comedy and laughing, telling stories like we've been telling you today, a lot of kind of like just getting into people's head that their life is where it is based on all the choices that they've made. Everything in life is your fault. Yeah, in down south they like to say everything is your responsibility, but up north we like to say everything's your fault because we don't get offended by that. Yeah, but in down south it's like everything's your responsibility, which is the same thing really.
Yeah.
And it's like your life is exactly as it should be based on every choice that you've made. Yeah. It's like if you've had 5 bad relationships because you've been making bad choices. And actually, if you see that you're the consistent thing in all of those relationships, you know it's you and not them. Yeah, so you've got to make a paradigm shift to make sure your next relationship and actually do the work on yourself so that you're creating, because we're all vibrational matches. So it's like if your partner is a dickhead and you're slagging them off all the time, how many fingers are pointing back at you? You know what I mean? So it's like, you're the dickhead. Do some work on yourself. If you don't want to be with that type of person, do some work on yourself to raise your vibration. Yeah, and then you'll find someone who's in alignment with that vibration. So yeah, within the ceremonies, there's the teaching, there's the laughter, there's the kind of like I just do it my way. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be anyone else.
Feel it and flow with it.
And then there's I play a harmonium, so there's a lot of like Sanskrit mantra, which is really, really powerful. People singing that, people dancing to that. And then I'll do like affirmations, but then I'll drop in like a banging drum and bass track.
Yeah.
And dance for a bit, or there'll be like a chakra dance.
Nice.
And that, so I want every person who comes to my event to feel uncomfortable at some point. Because there'll be people that haven't danced sober. There's the people that don't dance even when they're drunk. And I'm making them dance. And you make people
like
do stuff.
Pointing them out like, move.
Like, come on, move. People are like, you make people. I went, yeah. They're like, but you can't make. I went, I can do what the fuck I want. I want to make, because if I make them move, because it's like people do sharing circles and they go, you can share if you want. And I'm like, no, we're going round. Everyone has to share. I don't want, no, we'll just wait then. Because when that person speaks and at the end they go, I've never spoke. I feel that was that. Oh, thank you for that. I wouldn't have really usually have spoke. I would have just not. I wouldn't have chose to. Thanks, because that's got me confidence up now. I know I can do it. And I'm like, if I was a weak ass yoga teacher, you wouldn't have had that breakthrough.
Yeah,
you know. And I'm prepared. I've got a lot of haters, but haters are your biggest fans, as Kanye says. Yeah, and and when you get into that hate territory and campaigns against you, you know you're doing something right.
Yeah,
you know you're on the right track. So that's like, for me.
Do you deal with that okay?
It affects you, but I deal with it pretty well because I don't react.
You laugh
I
it
respond.
off.
Do I laugh it off?
Sometimes.
Do you know what? I'll look at myself sometimes and like now I'm just going, do you know what? Actually, in my heart, I'm trying to expand people. I'm trying to get people to break through and just like be who they're supposed to be confident, to know that they're unique, to know that there's genius inside every single human being, every single one. There's not one without something magical inside them. God put something magical, keys and codes of magic in all of us, of genius in all of us. Go and journey towards figuring out what your fucking genius is. And that's what I'm trying to like shake people up, because some people need a fucking shake. Come on, Maureen, you're amazing. You're fucking amazing. Like, no, I'm just gonna, fuck, Maureen, come on. And then she dances to drum and bass. She's like, fucking not move like that ever. I've never been to a rave. People come up to me
yes,
like, I've never been to a rave. Never been to a fucking rave. And I'm like, well, you have now, sort of. And it's the elements, and it's like the going from the mantra to the sacredness to the prayer to the affirmations to the meditation to the dancing to the swearing. You know what I mean? Like it's all in there, and that's where a lot of some hate comes from. But it's, for me, like,
because it's triggering them because they're not ready to do that work yet.
I think
probably,
but it's also people thinking they have
thinking that you've got a God complex or some shit like that.
Maybe, but maybe we are all God anyway. We're all made of the substance of God.
Yeah,
like the biggest yoga teachers that have ever been have all said that. Yeah, that's what Bob Proctor, all the people who, John DeMartini, Tony Robbins, like, we're all got innate power and wisdom within us. Are you ready to unleash it? Yeah, Tony Robbins is like, unleash the power within or something. It's plus, isn't it?
That's it.
So like, it's like that. And the thing is, like, Tony Robbins, John DeMartini, who wears a suit, Bob Proctor wears a suit. They're all fucking epic yoga teachers. They just don't identify as being a yoga teacher. But when you understand yoga and then you listen to them, you go, fucking epic yoga teacher. They're propelling people towards self-realization and enlightenment.
Yeah.
So, not someone saying you can only do this certain thing this way. Yeah, it's like with people, people think they've got an ownership on how you should do a cacao ceremony or how you should teach yoga. And it's like, do it your way. And when I train people, I'm like, the worst thing you could possibly do when you go away from this course is do a cacao ceremony like me. What's your USP?
Mm.
Let's find what talents have you got? Because there's going to be loads of stuff you're better than me at. Let's bring that to the fore. Do you know what I mean? Let's bring that forward. Let you focus on that. You know, do you swear? No. Well, don't swear in your ceremony. I swear. I'm from a background where we swear. It's like, that's what I do. And it's giving people the confidence to be who they are supposed to be and their USP, and bringing that forward and getting more confident. The amount of people that have come to my things and they've started playing these Indian instruments and they're getting into the mantras and different, it's loads of stuff, man.
Yeah.
Since I started, I still meet people now who, I was doing this thing during COVID. It was 2 banger dance party and I just danced to 2 rave tunes on Facebook at 6 o'clock at night. And people were like, I'd still say, do you know, your 2 banger dance party got me through COVID. Did it for 80 days in a row.
Right.
And I just danced like a dickhead on Facebook Live to some band. I'd get people to put in requests and stuff. I just danced.
Right.
I just started raving in my living room or wherever I was. But going back to like the hate and stuff like that, the interesting thing was recently when I had a little bit of a thing going off at me, the 2 richest and most successful people I know that are in my phone book both rang me and said, congratulations. I was like, what? Congratulations. This means you're leveling up. This is a step up. This is what happens. And he went, wait till you go into your tens of millions. He went, there'll be lawsuits. There'll be this, there'll be that. He said, people want to drag you down, especially in the UK. And it's not quite as bad in America. He went, but in the UK, they want to bring you back down. And they want something of yours, which isn't theirs. And he was like, so I was just like, then another one, congratulations. I was like, oh, amazing. So I was like, oh, this is amazing. Do you know what I mean? Rather than before thinking, oh, fuck. I was like, oh, this is amazing.
Thinking you're doing something wrong.
This is like a mark.
So is that what you're suggesting that people aspire to get to?
Well, not just to know when it comes that it's all right. It's good.
You're on target.
That you're on target.
Yeah.
You're
part of the
as
journey.
long as you're doing something from your heart and it feels good, you're not hurting anybody.
Yeah.
Like my thing is a guy called John Diamante. A guy called MJ DeMarco, and he says, whatever you're doing, like as long as it's creating 7 times the value for the people that are buying it from you, you're good. But make sure it's creating 7 times the value. And I always feel confident when people are coming to my stuff, buying my product, that I'm giving them 7 times the value. And I'm always trying to add more value. It's like, right, what can we do to be of more service? How can we add more free stuff, value to the consumer, to the people? Because I want people to be like maybe the start point of them then going on their journey to awakening, to self-realization, for us to eventually, like my big thing in the coming years is I'm gonna be the biggest inspirational speaker in the UK and in the top 5 in the world.
Get in.
That's what I want to drive towards. Like I'm studying hard at the moment. I'm trying to get, and I'm not an academic, so I'm better at doing than studying.
Same.
But I'm just smashing out Science of Getting Rich, smashing out Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I'm doing this 1-year course with the Bob Proctor Institute, which is very expensive. Well, no, it's not very expensive. It's great value. Very expensive is an old paradigm. People would probably think it was expensive. But
it's what you get from it.
It's value. It's all.
That's it.
Yeah. And I know that investment, I'll times that by at least 100,000 within the next 5 years.
Just knowing where you want to be, though, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
You know, setting these markers.
Yeah.
I do it all the time with what I do and with my clients. And, you know, I'm always thinking about long-term goals. You know, it's not just about like, what can you do in the next 6 weeks? It's like, right, where are you going to be in a year from now?
Yeah.
Once you finish that goal, what do you want to do next? I don't know. Think about it.
Yeah.
You know, and I think if you always got that mindset of goal setting and moving along, keep pushing the needle on, you can never get bored with that either, can you?
No, man, no. And that's the thing, like when it's like the worst thing you can do in life is go on a diet, innit? You've got to make a choice. I'm going to change what I'm consuming and my behaviors and my habits.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it for this period of time Because a diet, just basically the definition of a diet is going to lose this weight and then we'll go back to how I was. It's like, no, you need a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
It's got to change.
You need to shake Maureen out of them.
Yeah. Get rid of Maureen.
Love that, mate. That's so cool. Where do we find the brand? Like, let's talk about the brand, because I've got to say, mate, I'm bought in by how I'm feeling right now. And obviously, you know, having a deeper connection with you just now, I'm well invested in what you're doing and what you're about, and the brand. Where can we find you? Look at this lovely little package
So,
there.
yeah,
Well,
this is
that's
Tikiara, the Jaguar, and the girl who designed it, when she designed it, can you see that? There we go.
We got it.
Oh,
got
yeah,
it.
sexy Jaguar. But yeah, if you go on fullpowercacao.com, you can see all
Fullpowercacao.com.
yeah. But the girl who designed that, she designed that for me I launched the brand in 2021. A girl who was one of my yoga students, she used to have a design agency in Manchester. And she'd done, like, because I was teaching yoga and I was doing retreats, she'd done a lot of like my creatives and my posters and my branding stuff. And I said to her, all right, I want you to create this. I'm creating this cacao brand and it's going to be massive. And then I was like, I want this Jaguar, but I wanted to have, like, because if I blow that Jaguar up, yeah, it's made of cacao beans, Mayan temples, Mayan symbology, hieroglyphs are all in there.
Oh, that's cool.
The whole thing is either a leaf or it's nothing other than bits of
What's connected.
All put in.
Yeah, like that.
And
it's a bit like that tattoo of mine there.
Yeah, just finding stuff within.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Go within or go without is a big, everything we've got is already inside us. So that's a little bit of that journey of going, if I go a bit deeper, I'm going to see more. If I blow this up and go a bit deeper, I'm going to see a bit more. And it's things that you pick up.
Yeah.
And once because there was a few variations of it. And then once we signed it off, and I was like, I said to Lou, I went, this is going to be bigger than a night tick by 2032. And she just thought I was a fucking idiot. And now she's getting onto it. She's like, this boy might actually do this. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're the biggest in the UK. Blood Dragon's dead. A lot of people know the brand. And yeah, we've, Cacao is growing rapidly. The awareness of it, the awareness of the benefits of it, the health benefits, the spiritual benefits, amazing for mental health, like even saunas, cold water dipping, for that to be the drink that people do, breath work, sound baths, everybody's incorporating cacao, ecstatic dances, 5 rhythms, sober raves, everybody, like, the drink is cacao, you know what I mean? It's like the big thing, and our culture is shifting towards that sobriety. So for that to be the main drink within that, and then also we want to get in every coffee shop, every cafe, every restaurant, everywhere you can get tea and coffee, we want cacao to be available. People
want to connect ultimately, don't they?
Yeah.
And that's why people go to the pub and have 5 or 6 pints or whatever, because they're going for that connection, and they're using the alcohol as a bit of a vehicle so that they can open up a bit more. This is the vehicle of that gives you all the health benefits. It ain't going to tank your testosterone. It ain't going to make you feel like shit for days. This is
but
the way,
it opens you, and it allows you to be more connected, because the heart space is opened energetically, heart chakra's widening, it's aligning, it's balancing, and then you're connecting with everybody else's heart that's around you. So it's like when somebody comes to me and they go, oh, Liam, I'm running this retreat, like, I'm going to have cacao in it. When do you think's the best time to serve it? I went, as soon as they get there. They're like, what do you mean? I went, drop it as soon as they get there. I said, because it's just going to break down everybody's defenses and barriers, because when you first get to a place, you don't know anyone. You're a bit like, it's like first day at school, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then have a cacao and it's like, so how are you? And it's just like instantly just bump, get them in there, like get them connected instantly. So it's like always put it at the beginning of an event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But respect for being that person, because people ultimately buy from the person, and you've been the facilitator of, what's helping people connect and bringing them to it. You're like the gatekeeper for this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially in the UK. So massive props to you, mate. And I've really, really enjoyed this conversation. I'm dialed in. I'm super chilled. My heart is open. And I hope if anyone were listening to that took something from it and enjoyed it as much as I did.
Yeah.
So Thank you very much. Where can we find you? Are you bothered about this social media?
Yeah, no, I'm
Carry on
still
now?
on it, but I have it like people contact me on social media, like because I've had someone do my social media for 4 years now,
Right.
so I don't even do it. So
Yeah.
people like, can you do this? I'm not on it. So, but my Instagram is Liam Browne Awaken, and me Facebook, YouTube, and then Full Power Cacao is just at Full Power Cacao, Instagram, everything, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. The website is www.fullpower. I don't know how you do the www.fullpowercacao.com and liambrown.com. So all my events, my facilitator trainings are on there. We've just finished the tour, so there's probably not loads of events on there now. But I have got a facilitator training the end of the year. People get 22% off the first order. There's a little code on the top when you go on the website, and then there's loads of recipes. There's loads of like stuff you can learn about cacao, the farmers that we work with in Venezuela. We work with 2,500 farmers in Venezuela, which is incredible.
Wow.
And it's so beautiful out there, man. Love it.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. Just before you go, optimal sort of dosage? Is it more of a morning drink? Is it could you have it in the evening? Will it not affect your recovery? All those sorts of things for people that are interested.
So our advice is have it in the morning.
Yep.
As a replacement of whatever your morning drink is.
Okay.
Especially if it's coffee. The switch is so easy from coffee to cacao. So many people message us and go, I thought I was going to struggle. It's been super smooth. Like they've just switched and not gone back. If you're having it in the evening, it depends what your, what's the word? Like how you respond to it. So I wouldn't have a large dose in the evening or a 20-gram dose because I'll be up.
Just
Be
switching
stimulated.
on. Yeah.
But then I've got a lot of people who work with me, a lot of my customers, and they have 20 grams before they go to bed and sleep great. So it just depends, like, what you're doing. If you have 50 grams, you're going to be awake. If you want to go out at night raving, yeah, or you're a young person and you still do that sort of thing, then have 50 grams, you'll be buzzing all night and you won't feel shit the next day.
Win-win.
Win-win. But yeah, like recover, like gym, pre-workout, post-workout, smash a bit in your smoothie as well. And we got the cacao nibs as well, which give it a bit of a crunch.
Okay.
But yeah, just drink it. And my biggest thing, like for everybody, is minimum people, what about by ceremony? I'm like, just hold the cacao to your heart and just set a positive intention for the day, or say something that you're grateful for. Bang, you've done your ceremony. Thank you.
Nice. Little
God.
ritual.
Yeah, a little
Love
ritual. And you can develop that. Do you know what I mean? That 1 second, 2 seconds, 20 seconds could turn into like a 1 hour's worth of practice. Like every morning I practice for maybe between 1.5, 2 hours. Do you know what I mean? Breath work, journaling, gratitude. Like I'm doing a lot on this Bob Proctor thing at the moment, which is like vision questing and how you want your life to look and, the things that are around you. But always gratitude. What are the things in my life that I'm grateful for? Which is like one of the most powerful things that you can ever do. It's like if you feel like you've got nothing to be grateful for while you're breathing, be grateful for the air. Do you know what I mean? Be grateful for the water running out your tap because you're in the minority of people in the world that have water running out of a tap.
Yeah.
The heat in your room or the walls that are surrounding you that are keeping you sheltered when it's pissing it down in the north of England.
Yeah, you can always find something.
always. You can always find a list of 10.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what state your life is in. There's always a list of 10 things to be grateful for. What are you grateful for today?
This conversation and meeting you today, I thought it was absolutely awesome. I've loved it. Absolutely loved this conversation. So I'm grateful for that.
Grateful for you having me, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I'm grateful for my health. Not everybody wakes up and feels healthy. I still feel fresh, quite fit. Considering I'm getting a touch older now, but yeah, I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful for my life. I'm grateful for what's coming.
Nice, fun. Exactly. Yeah.
So I feel very abundant at the minute. Yeah. There's a lot of change going on for me personally, and it's all exciting. So there's been a bit of chaos, but
all change.
That's
so
it.
the all change is difficult at the beginning, chaotic, traumatic, disgusting, kind of a bit of horrific in the middle, and then divine and glorious at the end. But you've got to go through that. Do you know what I mean? It's like when you break up in a relationship, it's hard at first, and then when you get past that bit of going, oh, I made a mistake, you go, oh yeah, that was right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's the
one.
one.
All good.
It is all good.
God
Thank
bless.
you, mate. Much appreciated.
Honestly.
And hope you enjoyed the show, guys.
Loved it, man. I loved it.
Cheers.
Cheers, brother. Nice one, man. Thank you. I do need a wee, though. Gonna go and have a wee.